All right, everybody. I would like to welcome everyone here to the Affluentry Connection conference call. Welcome, 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 everybody. If you are already on the screen share, please go ahead and type the letter I in the chat there so we know that everyone's there. And as you type that I, you can also type in your name so we can give you that personal hello and everyone know that we are real, right? So, again, welcome everybody to the call. I want to make sure that everybody's ready, so just make sure that you have a pen and paper handy. We have a lot of good announcements, and also we have training at the end of this call that you do not want to miss. And I'm talking sales training and then really going in on how to convert over the phone, which is very important. So we're really going to go into that in today's call, so make sure that you stay for that. So we're going to go ahead and get started. This is specifically for this portion right here. It's specifically for our new people. So welcome new people. If you just got started today or within the past couple of weeks and this may be your first call, welcome aboard, and we're so happy to have you. My name is Gospel, and I'm the CEO here at Affluentry Connection. And what do we do here? We match people with tested and proven income opportunities. And we've been doing that for a few years now. We have over 30,000 people working from home, all because of our efforts and our commitment, our determination to make a difference in the world. So that's what we've been doing. And a lot of you are here because of one of our opportunities. It could be the Affluentry Network, where you promote the advertising network, such as Free Treasure Chest, Instant Rewards, our Loot to Boot, Z&Z. These are some of the networks that you may be working for. Another one of our opportunities is with Wake Up Now, or should I say One Affluentry, where we're building that as a residual income stream with a team build, which makes it very unique. And that's the reason why we were able to do so many founders in just a short period of time, and it's continuously growing up to this day. So again, those are the two opportunities that we have new people at the moment. Of course, we're always going to be adding as the years go on. Our portfolio will get much bigger and bigger. But with what we have right now, we have generated millions of dollars in commissions throughout an entire organization. The people we work for, such as the advertising networks, they love us, right, because we bring them tons of revenue. But here with the community, we've been able to grow like a family, and that's what means the most, is that we're tight here, and we know each other, and we help each other along the way. So that's where you are right now, new people. Welcome aboard. This is our official Monday Affluentry Connection conference call, where you're going to get training and all that good stuff too, okay? So with that said, at this point, I want to go ahead and introduce somebody who, let me just give you a little bit of background, who I met actually in college. Okay, I met in college, and it kind of ties in with my story. So back in college, I was at the pinnacle of selling Tahitian noni juice. If you guys know what noni juice is, just type I in the chat. Some people may not, but I know what noni juice is, right? So in college, on campus, I was known as the noni man, right? And so I went out with my bottle of juice, and I was doing presentations for people and all this other stuff. And after it was a good couple of years of doing that work, I said, you know what, I give up because I'm not making any money selling this juice, right? And during that time, my good friend here, my best friend actually, Ashton was there with me during that time, and he was actually on my team, and we were over to passing the juice out too. So it was really amazing. But what happened was I didn't make any money, and you already know what happens after that. Well, it's like, man, let's get rid of this. And so what happened after that? It was life-changing. I was in a situation where I stopped selling the juice, and I found a guy on the internet, who's my mentor now, right? And so the importance of mentorship. You want to listen to the story. Here we go, the importance of mentorship. So I found this guy online, and he's, making a lot of money, doing well. I went to his conference call, kind of like how you're on my conference call now, right? And it was just amazing of what he was saying. And I was like, man, he's telling the truth. Like, I can't make any money taking this juice and going door to door. That's not the right way to sell this product. And so he started teaching me about marketing and advertising and how to have people come to you. So everything you do is an inbound type of a thing, right? He was telling me that. He was like, I know, people love cold calling. I know people like going door to door. I know people like, just hitting the phone books. He was, you can do you can do in order to generate business is you can put advertising out there, right, and do some marketing on the internet, and you can generate a lot of traffic towards you. And so I was like, okay, his name's Greg. I was like, Greg, I really, really want to learn how to do this. He said, okay, Gospel, it's going to be $2,000. Now, here I am in college, and this man told me it's going to cost me $2,000 after I couldn't find a nickel and a dime to rub together to buy my next juice order, right? So I'm like, what in the world, $2,000? And so I told him, I said, Greg, I'm going to be real. I don't have $2,000. I've never seen $2,000. I don't think that's ever going to happen. And he said, Gospel, he was like, do you have faith? And I was like, yes. He was like, well, if you have faith the size of a mustard seed, then you can move mountains. And I was like, okay. He was like, now go move a mountain, and hung up on me. And so it got real quiet. And I was like, wow, like that was so rude, but it was so well needed, right? And so what I did was I got creative. So here I am in college. I have my own apartment, but, what happens is I usually have a refund check, and that refund check goes towards the rent on the apartment, right? So this time around, this is me in college. My mom doesn't have any money to help me. I grew up single parent, so it's just me, really. And so the refund check comes, and it's exactly $2,000. Go figure, right? Go figure. Talk about a sign, right? So the refund check ends up being $2,000. I get it, and I said, okay, if I pay my rent, I'm good for the rest of the semester. But if I pay Greg, then I might be able to learn how to make more money, right? And so I was so scared, like seriously. It was like if I mess this up, my mom's gonna kill me, right? And so what I did was I sent the money to Greg, and from that point forward, everything changed for me. I called Greg back, and he was like, "Thanks for the payment, of course," and he started coaching me. And within my very first 3 days, I made $2,000. So when I got the money back, which I couldn't believe, my mouth was on the floor. And I also was running around smiling because I also, was like pointing fingers at, people in my life at that time who said I would never make money. So, I spent my $2,000 and got it back the same week. I couldn't believe it, right? But from that point, I took the money, paid my rent, thank you, God, right? From that point, I said, you know what? I'm going to take these talents, and I'm going to show other people how to do it. And so as time went on, after venture after venture after venture, because I know it's a great story, but I'm going to be real with you as well. It's been bumpy too. It's just the way it is. Venture after venture after venture, I finally ran into the advertising networks. And so I took exactly what I was so good at advertising. I applied it to a business that was already here, and boom. My best friend, this is years later. This is about 4 or 5 years later. Here I am, advertising networks. This is actually two and a half years ago. Advertising networks, it's booming, it's doing its thing, it's growing. And my best friend here calls me. He's like, hey, Gospel, I need something, because right now I'm not liking this Subway thing. Being a sandwich artist, I'm over it. He's like, listen, I've got to do something else. I tried to work at Disney. It's not working out there either. I don't know what to do. I said, all right, man. And so I said, hey, here's the script. Here's the advertising networks. Get your offers done. Get your credits, right? And I was like, let's go ahead and we'll do it first thing Monday morning. He took his time over the weekend to get all that stuff done. And then Monday morning, this man went running. And when I mean running, people, I mean $880 in his first 3 days. So new people, as you're coming into this, I know you've probably seen the orientation or you have somebody that invited you here to the call. Do know that what they were talking about is absolutely true. And we've been doing it for years, and so that's why we're here to help you. And so if there's anybody that I could trust to come out and say hi to you guys and to give you some good tips on what you should do to get this thing on a quick start, it'd be the one, the only, my best friend, the COO, Ashton Sanders. So without further ado, the great, the magnificent Ashton. Everybody please type the letter A in the chat for Ashton. Here we go.
That was a great intro, man. That was the best one I think you ever did. I don't know what happened to make that happen. That was great. All right, guys. So first off, again, as always, thank you guys so much for coming out to the call today. And we are heavily excited to definitely have you here tonight. And we have some information I wanted to go ahead and break down for the new people, okay? So for the new people that don't know what's going on, you just got here, you have a lot of things happening at the same time, I want you to first know, don't panic, okay? It's going to come together as you grow here. Now, the first thing you want to do if you're brand new, make sure you get in contact with your supervisor. That's the person that actually refers you to our team, okay? So make sure you get in contact with them, and they will be able to walk you through the steps, okay? Now, the other part of it is when you get to the training site. If you haven't been there, it is affluentryconnectioncenter.com or agenttrainingcenter.com, whichever one you want to go to. It'll take you to the same place. And once you get there, you're going to see all the training that you need. Okay, so I want to make sure that you guys can see this. Can everybody hear me? If you can, put an I in the chat. If everyone can hear me, put an I in the chat. Well, yeah. All right, good. Okay, so what I want to show you for the new people is once you come here, I'm going to figure out why they got this crazy ad up here. That's crazy. All right, so let's go ahead and scroll down. When you get here, you'll be able to see the welcome video, okay? So when you see the welcome video, to kind of break down a little bit more information about what you need to do to get started. But as you go through the system, you're going to see the different opportunities that we promote, as Goffel spoke about earlier. So what I want you to do is make sure you go ahead and check those out. That way you understand all the different things we have available for you to work and make money with. All right, now once you get done with that, here we are. Here is the training. It's called Affluentry University. If you're first starting and you're not sure where to go, the Affluentry University is where you're going to get all the training you need to work with the company. So I want to make sure you guys all understand that, okay? Affluentry University is where you're going to get all the information, okay? So what you want to do next is make sure that you go ahead and click on the link there, and it's going to take you to the Affluentry University page. And once you get there, you'll be able to go ahead and pick whichever level that you wanted to come in at. Okay, now, in relation to the different levels, there are some different packages that people are able to purchase to get more in-depth training on the exact system of how we promote and how we do our business here. So what I want you to do is make sure you get over to affluentryconnection.com. It'll break that down a little bit more. Also, if you go back to the bottom of the training site, you'll be able to see on the home page of the training site, you'll be able to see the training about the packages and how they work and what comes in each one. So please feel free to go ahead and select that as well. Once you've done that, you'll be able to go ahead and join one of the groups for the training. And once you get there, it'll break down the Affluentry network. If you came in from the offers, if you came in from Wake Up Now, we'll have training for everything as you go through it. But most of the training is going to be for Affluentry network. And so once you get there, you'll see the Affluentry network 101 and 102 for the basic level. Make sure you go ahead and get started. There's going to be a video there that'll break down everything you need to know in relation to what you need to do next. Also, you're going to see about 4 boxes come up. You're just going to have a welcome email, training email. It'll also have some of the different emails you need to know for the system, so that way you're able to send them out to the right place. Along with that, it's going to have a daily workflow, so you know exactly how the system's going to work and all these different things. So you want to make sure you get all that information right there. Okay, so for some reason, if you can't get in contact with your supervisor, do not panic. Again, all the information you need is actually already on the training site. Okay? Now, if you ever get lost or get confused, you're going to see here, right here, there's a chat box. Okay, when you click on main room, this is all within the agenttrainingcenter.com. You'll be able to go ahead and get the information from other agents as well. There's tons of other agents here working and making money, so you're actually able to go ahead and contact them if you have questions or concerns or whatever it may be. Now, we'll tell you that there are new agents in there just like there are veterans in there. Okay, so when it comes down to who you should listen to, I want you to listen to the people that we consider leaders. So if you go to affluentrynetwork.com, you're going to actually get a list of all the leaders on the team in our About Us section. So you'll know the Shalene Nightingales. You'll also see Sneaker Cunningham, Jeremy Epperson, Larry Wright, Travis Sherman, and some of the other leaders you'll see. So make sure you go ahead and get an answer for them. Also, the one of the main people you'll be contacting is Mr. Ethan Hunt. He'll be able to actually help you as well with getting access into the groups, okay? And so what happens is once you go ahead and join the different groups, you're going to see the option to request access, and he'll go ahead and grant you that access. So if you're trying to get access to any groups, Ethan's going to be taking care of that, so don't worry about it. He got it all covered, all right? But just so you know exactly who to listen to and where to go, I want you to focus on getting into the chat and talking to leaders only when it comes to getting definite advice, okay? Because there are some people out there that don't know what they're doing, and they're going to tell you to do this, and, you'll be in a situation you don't want to be in. So it's good to just stick with the people that we, consider leaders, and you'll be okay. Or get in contact with your supervisor, and they'll be able to walk you through whatever you need to do next, okay? But that's pretty much it, okay? Everything's pretty simple on that end. When you're plugging in, you're getting the training, and you get access to it, you'll find out the rest of what you need to do to start working and making money. But just to get started, quick review, join the training site, make sure you create a profile, check out the quick start video, the opportunities, the training. You'll see who we are as the owners of the company, the leaders here. Also at the bottom, you'll get information about the packages. Make sure you go ahead and go through that video. And once you're done, join the training groups, and you will be A-okay, okay? So that's exactly what you need to do to get that ball rolling. Now, for the meantime, I do want you to know that we are here to help you grow and make money on a consistent level. So that's what we're going to do every day of the week. So I want you to know that that's our entire intention. And one of the people that I want you to meet is actually our great CMO. He's been working with our company for quite a while. Again, he's the youngest member, I believe, on our team, but he's been killing it and growing. He actually came in as a customer service agent who was learning and, trying to make money, and now he's able to really have good success. He's actually worked his way up to partner, and now he's a partner with us and co-founder, and we're all building and growing together. So without any further ado, I want you to meet the great Robert Travis.
Woo-hoo! Robert! Hello, Affluentry. It's your favorite CMO, Rob Travis. You guys know I don't like to keep you long. We have so much to talk about tonight, so I'm just going to get right into the announcements. A lot has been happening this week, so here we go. Ready? You guys ready? 1, 2, 3, go. So first announcement. Announcement number 1 are the packages for Affluentry Connection, the Affluentry Connection packages. If you've been a member here at Affluentry for some time, you know that we train and we have our support through our wonderful packages that have all types of great things. The packages range from free all the way up to the elite package, which is $50 a month. The 3 higher packages, they have the absolutely wonderful Affluentry Connection bonus, where you actually earn 50% of any package that you sell. So these packages serve as training and support that you need, and it's an income opportunity. So it's a win-win situation. If you do not know about these packages, you definitely need to talk to your supervisor or make your way over to affluentryconnection.com. We have all of that information and details there. Definitely check that out. Announcement number 2 are the training courses. Okay, guys, we have so many updates coming up, especially with the Fast Track. Speaking of the Fast Track, as of now, the registration and trainings are rendered. Now that they are rendered, they will be uploaded and posted. They will be there. Our goal is to have the entire Fast Track system up tonight. That's the goal. That's the game plan. So we're going to try and get that done as soon as possible. I hope you guys can hear me. Can everyone hear me? If you can hear me, type an R in the chat for Rob. If you can hear me, type an R in the chat for Rob. Okay, so a good number of people can hear me. I'm glad. I want to make sure I'm doing. Oh, I got an R minus. That's original. I'm gonna try to get on a different phone. So everyone, just hold on a second. I'm gonna try to switch over to another phone. But for the moment, we are going to keep moving right ahead. Again, I was talking about the Fast Track system. With the Fast Track system, you will be able to really, utilize the orientation, training, and registration, which just takes people through the entire process. It's a really, really cool automated system that runs. Okay, all right, great. Everyone can hear me. It runs every hour on the day, so you definitely want to check out the Fast Track system. next announcement I have, and I've been getting asked a lot about this, the next announcement I have are the capture sites. Okay, a lot of people have been wondering when the Affluentry Connection capture sites will be completed. And if you're not familiar with what a capture site is, it's usually a really, really nice personal website that you have that can track your leads as they come in. And it has your name, and they can enter, your leads can enter their information and submit and watch our videos. It's a really, really cool system. Those will be coming. They're in development. We're hoping to have those done no later than the end of April. Okay, that's the goal, to have those there no later than the end of April. So look forward to the capture site. Okay, everyone look forward to the capture site. I hope you guys can still hear me. Next announcement is one. Okay, next announcement is the one. If you know what announcement I'm talking about, please type one in the chat. Type one in the chat. And I'm not talking about the number one. I'm talking about a particular type of one. The Wake Up Now one, the one that is our newest income opportunity for all of those who are involved with our one. Let me just tell you this. The One Affluentry team has come up with the next best thing. I mean, this is in the level of like Steve Jobs type ideas. Like, this is going the distance. So I have so much I want to tell you, but to be honest, you can't find out here because this is the Affluentry Connection weekly update call. So in order for you to really find out what's going on with the new buzz and what the new updates are about, you have to attend the Thursday One Affluentry Connection conference calls. Those are every night at 6:30, Thursday nights, 6:30, this same number, this same area, but it is Thursday at 6:30 when we're coming. I'm going to tell you that with our team build that we're doing with the One Affluentry team, our new kind of function that we'll have for how this team will work will be so easy. I can't even like put a pun to it. It's just going to be amazingly easy. I mean, literally, it's going to be like you just have a conversation and you make a lot of money. And the one thing I could do to kind of float it out there for you is, they always tell you walk by faith, not by sight, which is always a great thing to live by. But with this new adjustment we've made to the One Affluentry team, you'll actually be able to see before you take any steps. So I like to compare that to the old saying, seeing is believing. If you heard that one before, seeing is believing. Sometimes you just got to see it with your own eyes before you believe it. If you've heard this, if you agree with seeing is believing, type I in the chat. Okay, great. Everyone is type I. So yeah, I'm telling you, it's really going to be ridiculous. What we've adjusted, and we're going through the adjustments now, but what those adjustments will entail is going to be completely ridiculous. I promise you don't want to miss it. Next announcement we have, is Member Appreciation Week. Member Appreciation Week. If you've attended a Member Appreciation Weekend or a Member Appreciation Week, type I in the chat. Type I in the chat if you've attended one of these wonderfully amazing, nugget-full ceremonies of greatness. I mean, they're just really, really awesome places to be. The last Member Appreciation Weekend we had the ladies host, and the old saying goes, ladies before gentlemen. So now it's the guys' turn, and who else could come but Gospel, Ashton, and Robert? That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Member Appreciation Weekend is next week, and this setup that we are doing is going to give you an entire week of calls. You're going to have an entire week of calls. Who's excited for an entire week of talking Gospel, Ashton, and Robert? We'll have some special guests, but don't you guys just want to come talk with us for 5 days? I mean, wouldn't that be awesome? I think so. So we're going to hear because we have our weekly update and conference call, and then Tuesday you're going to deal with me. I'm doing Snag It training, okay? And, I mean, really, if you ever seen those yellow books in Barnes & Nobles, like, driving for dummies, like Snag It is Photoshop for dummies. I promise you, you can make some really, really awesome ads really quick and easy. And I'm going to teach you how. I'm going to teach you some of my techniques. And the same ads you've seen with our former ads and the Affluentry ads, they're all done through Snag It. in one way or another. So I'm going to show you how that works. It's going to be a fun time. You guys know I like to kick back and relax in my snagging classes. So Tuesday, you have the snag it training, okay? Wednesday morning, you have the Wednesday hour of power, okay? You got gospel and Ashton for just that hour that turns into an hour and 20 minutes of so much motivation and power. I mean, I get caught up like listening to them, and they start doing jumping jacks and stuff in the office, and next thing you know, it's a party. So we have the Wednesday hour of power on Wednesday morning. Then Thursday we have our great man Ashton Sanders, okay, Sensei Sanders, who's coming, and he's actually doing something that has never been done before in company history. He is doing website training. For all of those who always like to build your own sites, or you've been trying to do your own blogs, let's take it up a level. Let's go to actually building websites. So Ashton is going to give the first ever website design class, which is going to be really, really fun because, I mean, you guys see, if you guys have seen the One Affluentry Connection site, that was designed by myself and Ashton. If you've seen, the Affluentry Connection Center, Affluentry Connection, any of these sites, all of them, Affluentry Network especially, these are all designs of Ashton. He is really, really creative when it comes to the website design. So you will not forget, you don't want to miss it, I promise you. Okay, so that's Thursday. And then Friday is a special day. Okay, Friday is a national holiday. It's a national holiday Friday. And I'm talking about next Friday, of course. Next Friday is a national holiday. And you should all know what this holiday is. And if you don't know, it's not your fault. They were supposed to get it printed on all the calendars, but there was a typo, so I'm going to get it done next year. But Friday is National Rob Travis birthday. Okay? It's a national day. Everyone's off. Everyone is cool. And you're not really off work because I'm not off work, but it is a national holiday. It's my birthday. So Friday is my birthday. I'll be the big 2-4 or 4-2, depending on who you're asking. I'll be turning 24. So I'm excited to be 24. You know, I got some years to go. I'm on a mission. My mission is to be a millionaire by 25. Okay, so that means come next week, all y'all better be around me for the next 365 days because I'm about to make it happen some way or another. So when I hit 24, from 24 to 25 is a sprint. It's a 365-day sprint for me to get this million. So it's my birthday. But more importantly, to make my birthday just so over-the-top awesome, the boss man himself, CEO Gospel Jackson, is coming out, and he's doing his thing with corporate finance and really learning how to reinvest in yourself and into your business. So his lessons, when he gets on the mic, it's sometimes when he talks, I don't even want to talk after him because it's just like, all right, you killed it. Why? What do you need me to say? So we do have Gospel Jackson who's coming out, and he's going to be talking on Friday, which is going to be my birthday. I'm going to be out of the office. Letting you guys know now, I'm going to go have some fun. I'm going to try to, relax and enjoy myself for a little bit. But that's Friday. So there you go. So the whole next week is Member Appreciation Week, a call every single day. Monday, you got the weekly conference call, the same call you're on right now. Tuesday, you got my call with the Photoshop training. Wednesday, you have the morning hour of power. Thursday, you got Ashton with website designs. And Friday, you got Gospel Jackson with corporate finance and, absolute, brain correction. You can call it whatever you want. It's going to be hot. So that's all next week for Member Appreciation Week. Who's excited for this upcoming Member Appreciation Week? April Member Appreciation Week, who's excited? Can I get a show of hands in the chat? Can I get an eye in the chat? Okay, thank you. Thank you. We got a lot of people excited. That's all I want. I just wanted to tell you guys we got a really, really special week coming up. I'm turning 24. We got Member Appreciation Week. We got, the One Affluentry that's making this major adjustment and announcement on Thursday. And then, the next announcement is something that has been a gold mine since day one. It has been probably the most in-demand product we've ever created. And I'm talking about the one, the only, the original co-op. If you know about the co-op, let me get a show of eyes in the chat. All the people who know about the co-op. All the people who know about the co-op. Man, oh man. Let me give you guys a quick 30-second history lesson. One day, a long time ago, a guy named Gospel, who we can call Brent for this story, and a guy named Ashton, who we can call Will for this story, they got together and they said, listen, we know how to advertise, but man, if we figure out a way to advertise for everyone, we make the system completely simple. Everyone can focus on just taking calls, inbound calls, take inbound calls from home. Fast forward to today, folks. The co-op system has been through 3 generations. It has been through 3 generations, 3 versions. This is better than Rocky because ours gets better. So we've had this co-op for 3 times, and now we're in our 4th generation. And this one is in particularly special because it is the first time that we finally found someone outside of our own efforts who believes in higher quality versus higher quantity. So with this new co-op, unlike the former ones, the former co-ops, it was like, 20, 30, 40, 50 unlimited seats, come one, come all, let's take this money, go advertise. That worked, but the issue was, sustainability, keeping it up and running. So with our new resource, with a guy who's really dedicated to matching this quality that we demand on a weekly basis, we decided to only go with 10. We said 10 seats. And with these 10 seats, we've made a commitment to 100 calls for $100. $1 a call.
Each call is worth a potential $100.
Mathematically, $1 a call. Let's do some quick. I always like to call. I learned this from a guy I was apprenticing under before I was working with Gospel, and he always calls something potato math. Okay, he always calls something potato math. Okay, so he said potato math was just quick counting. So I'm gonna do some potato math with you. $100 for 100 calls. Okay, that's 100 times your phone is ringing. That's 100 leads. Now let's say every call is worth what? If you're going through whatever opportunity you're using, typically you're looking at $20 to $100, right? Let's say that $20 to $100 per caller. You get a maximum of 100 calls. Now I know nobody is converting at 100%. It'd be great, but let's be realistic. Let's be real with one another. Let's say you convert at 40, 50%, even 30. That is, on the low end, 30 or 40 times 20, which if someone can do some quick math, what is 40 times 20? Type it in the chat. $800 minus 100 plus 700. So doing some quick potato math, if you got into the co-op, you took 100 calls, you converted 40%. On the low end, on the absolute low end, you could take home $700. Now, why do I tell you this? Because we've done this co-op 3 times. We've seen people do it. That's why it's still so popular now. It's a can't-lose system. And it's a very rare system. So like I was saying, the co-op is running on 10 seats. So here are the rules. Everyone who's interested in the co-op, put your ear close to the phone. As my boss would say, grab your pen and paper that you should already have and get ready to write this down. Here are the rules. With the co-op, it's $100 for 100 calls. Okay, you get calls Monday through Friday. This new, really, really rare call center is open from 6 a.m. Pacific to 6 p.m. Pacific. That's 9 a.m. Eastern to 9 p.m. Eastern. Opens Monday through Friday on a 12-hour rotation. Every day, Monday through Friday, you will get, on the low end, about 20 calls. On the top end, around 30. Throughout the week, come Friday, you will have had 100 calls. 100 plus. Now, when we've tested this, we've landed at about 110, 125, but we don't want to go there. We want to tell you the bare minimum. As my great mentor, Gospel Jackson, would say, under promise, over deliver. So that's what we're doing. We're under promising 100 calls. That's what we're committed to. We're tracking it daily. We're watching it. We have people in it right now. They just went through day one. Folks, this co-op is going to be the most talked about thing that we have within the community. So I'm going to tell you what you need to do to get in line, because it's already in line. It just launched yesterday, and it's already in line. So the rules, once you're in the co-op, you have one of two options, okay? Once you're in, you can take a maximum of 2 weeks back-to-back. 2 consecutive weeks is the absolute max you can do. If you do 1 week, maybe you have a lot of leads, you want to opt out. That's fine too. But the maximum you can do is 2 weeks. Once your time is done in the co-op, your seat is empty and it goes to the person next behind you on the waiting list. Okay? The person on the waiting list, you're on the waiting list by paying $100. Now, you don't have to pay this weekly. This is just to get a number in line, because when that seat comes open, it's time for you to take calls. You don't have to pay again. You already paid your $100 because you're getting on the waiting list. So it's up to you when you want to get in. Right now the waiting list that I know of right now is about 3 people deep. So we already have 3 people who are on the waiting list ready to go. Once that list is filled, like I said, it'll just fill up the next person based on what seats come open. So the maximum waiting list time is 2 weeks, obviously. Okay, the longest that you'll wait on the waiting list, depending on how long the list is going to be 2 weeks. So to get into the co-op, if you're over at the Affluentry Connection Center, you'll see a link at the top that says co-op. Okay, it says it right up there in the top. It's in the middle. Okay, it says co-op. All you have to do is click that co-op button, complete that form, and submit it. You'll receive a call, and you'll receive instructions, and you'll also receive your number if you opted to pay at that moment. You can pay whenever you want. That's perfectly fine. But once you purchase either the seat or the waiting list seat, you'll receive a number, and every week you'll be updated on where that number status is. So if it's next in line, the next one in line, et cetera, et cetera. So the co-op is back, and we're doing it right. Okay, we're going to keep it at 10 seats. Our goal is to make sure we manage this and allow for slow, extremely steady, extremely consistent growth, okay? Slow but consistent growth. So to make sure we're going to do that, we're going to keep it at 10 seats right now for probably the next 30 to 60 days. Once we can shore up the delivery of 1,000 calls a week, yes, my mathematics out there, 10 seats, 100 calls a week, 1,000 calls. Once we can guarantee the flow of 1,000 calls consistently, we'll increase. We'll probably add around 5 to 10 more seats. And then we'll let it grow for 30 to 60 days, and we'll keep increasing like that. Now, we don't know about a max at this point. All we know is that we're going to grow this the right way so that this co-op is one that can last, This is one that can really continue forward. This is one that can be a staple point for years in our company. And as far as your leads, as they come in, you don't have to worry for those of you who can't take calls all day or might be on the phone. These calls are coming directly to you. So make sure you have a great voicemail. They'll leave a voicemail. You can give them a call back, and they're really quality leads. Okay, from our experience, these leads range from people who've done 1099 tax forms and know about commission sales jobs, all the way to people who just quit their job at McDonald's or Walmart and are looking for the next best thing. So they vary, but they are quality leads. They're people looking for an opportunity. Okay, so the co-op did replace the call center. For those of you who are still in the call center, if your membership for the call center is active, I suggest continuing that membership until it expires, and then once it expires, to switch over to getting in the co-op. Okay, for those of you who are wondering, after I maxed out my 2 weeks, how long do I have to wait before I can get back in the co-op? Well, that will depend on the list. I'm going to tell you now, just from how the schematics look of the co-op and how the waiting list is growing, that chances are after you've done 2 weeks in the co-op, you'll then be allowed to purchase a waiting list ticket, and you'll just have to wait from the list, wherever it's at. So, again, the wait list is probably going to rotate a good 2 to 3 weeks. It'll increase. And this is why you want to get in and don't hesitate, because this thing is going to roll. It's consistent. So, really we'll work on that. Like I said, the seats will grow, so it'll only be like that for a month or so, and then the seats will increase and there will be more. There will be more opportunity for people to get in. Okay? All righty. The next announcement. Are we all clear on the co-op? Are we all clear on the co-op? Okay, are we all clear on the co-op? If we're all clear on the co-op, type I in the chat. If we're all clear on the co-op, type I on chat. Okay. I know the join.me might be down, so if you're typing I in the chat, forgive me for it being down, but that is the co-op announcements. Okay, that's everything for the co-op and what's going on with that. So I'm going to move on to the next announcement before we get out of here. The next announcement are the ads. I know a lot of you have been out there working and advertising, and you're like, man, hey, Affluentry, I could really use some quality visual ads. We haven't forgot about you. Those ads are on the way, obviously, with the co-op developing and these really, really great announcements that are coming Thursday for the One Affluentry team build have really had us busy. But we have not forgotten about the ads. We are really hoping to get the ad system up and running in a week or less. Okay, so look forward for that. When we do get it up, though, we will get an email out. Okay, so we'll get cracking on those probably tomorrow-ish. Okay, tomorrow-ish. We'll get cracking on those, and we'll attempt to have the ad system up in a week or less. So for all of those who've been emailing us about ads, I apologize. We won't get those up and running. Okay. The next and final announcement I have is the brand new support system. Okay, how many people have been able to get a question or two answered through the support system to this point? Ethan has really been on it. Ashton's been over there working. Our support team has been over there working. So if you've been able to get a support question answered, type I in the chat. If you had a question or a problem and you were able to get it solved, you were able to go through the support system and you got an answer. We are trying to definitely take care of everyone. When we see those support tickets, wherever they may be, we try to respond or, make sure that we take care of you so you're good to go. It's all about the service. It's about serving the people. So we're trying to make sure the new support system can do that. You can access that at support.affluentryconnection.com. Okay, if you have any questions, comments, or problems, you can access support.affluentryconnection.com. Woo! Those are my announcements. That was a lot. Folks, for those of you, like I said, the co-op is about to be hot. Thursday, you do not want to miss what we have coming for the One Affluentry team build. Like I said, it's so simple. It's brilliant. I love the idea. You're going to love what it's going to do for your leads. You're going to go bananas because we had a whole mini celebration when this idea came about. We really were excited that was able to be produced, and it was from some natural source of inspiration, I should say. It was a very natural source of inspiration, someone who's always been around and helping us out in the office. It's a major, support beam for the backbone of Affluentry Connection. So we appreciate those people who were there to help, really boil this together, this new idea of how this will work and how we're going to revolutionize Wake Up Now. Okay? So for all of those that are ready for some hearty, rich fulfillment from the boss himself. He's coming with a series tonight. He's starting a series. This is volume 1. And it's going to be something that I think is really going to affect a lot of us, myself included. So if you're ready to hear from the big man himself, okay, if you know his name, type G in the chat. Type G in the chat because he's about to bring the good news. Yeah, you see how I put that in? Type G in there. He's about to bring the good news. He got some good news. It's Mr. Good News himself, the CEO, Gospel Jackson. Sir, these people are fired up. We had some quality time on the announcements. They're excited for the lesson you're going to teach on my birthday. I told them about it. Yeah. I told them that you was like, Rob, no, it can't work. I have to deliver excellence on your birthday. Yes, and went something like that. So I'm done for the night, folks. I'm going back to work. Everyone, let's bust it out. Make sure you make it there Thursday. Please make sure you follow us on Facebook. Okay, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. It's all at Affluentry for Facebook. It is at Affluentry Connection. Facebook.com/Affluentry Connection. Make sure you like the page. There's lots of inspirational quotes, pictures going up, updates about the company, all great things that you want to stay in tune with. So make sure you like the Facebook page, Facebook.com/Affluentry Connection. Okay, now that's really all I got, so I'm done for real. So, CEO Mr. Jackson, please come and bring your series Volume 1 to everyone. I'm going to let you bring the title and let's really hit it home because I'm done. So, everyone get your notes ready, stretch, twist to the left, twist to the right, get ready to be shocked and awed by the Grandmaster himself, Gospel Jackson. Here you go, sir.
Woo! Thank you, Robert. Hey, everybody, let's go ahead and get started. We're at the top of the hour, so I do not want to keep you longer than about 15 minutes, okay? And you know what my 15 minutes is. So, yeah, that's all we need is about 15 minutes. All right, so what I want you to do is grab a pen and paper, and this is the title of today's training. Right, and this is version 1. And this was actually inspired from your COO, Ashton Sanders, because he used this terminology today, and I loved it. And I was like, that is hot, and we had to keep it. And I want you guys to write it down because it's really awesome. But the title of today's training is Breaking Through Commission's Breath. Again, breaking through commission's breath. And the reason why this is going to be the focal point on today's conference call is because we are in the sales business. We take inbound calls from home. And a lot of times we don't get the results that we want because it's something that we are saying. It's kind of like whenever you meet somebody and you know they're trying to sell you on something, but they're not selling you on something, but you can tell they're trying to sell, it just feels weird, right? That can happen on the phone. Actually, it happens a lot of times. And the reason for that is because we're not able to train you face-to-face in a whole training room and environment and do role plays and all that stuff. So we do everything from the telephones and from your webinars and stuff like this. So it's tough. And so you have a lot of new people that take the experience from when they were selling cars, or they take the experience from when they were selling vacuum cleaners, or they take the experience when they were selling, Cutco knives, or whatever they're selling. Maybe they were doing, mortgages, they were selling that, or maybe they were, doing anything, just selling. And the thing is, other industries require a different type of salesmanship, okay? And for us, we do not want to bring that outside stuff to this business. That outside selling and pitching, you don't have to have that here, okay, because you're taking inbound calls. So that's the reason for the title of Breaking Through the Commission's Breath, because a lot of people come in with those traditional ways of selling, and they wonder why they're not getting the results that they want. Okay, so going into this, the very first thing that I want you to understand is the reason why. So breaking through this so that you can be an awesome closer, so you can be an awesome salesperson as you're taking these inbound calls. Okay, the very first thing you're going to need to work on is knowing your why. Now, I know you already have heard this before. I know gospel, I know. Somebody told me before about, I have to know what my why is. But you have to understand that your why is the nucleus of everything that you are. I'm going to say it again. Your why is the nucleus of everything that you are. Okay? So I have a question for you, and I'm going to help you find your why really quick. Why do you wake up in the morning? Please put the answer in the chat. Why do you wake up in the morning? Someone put it in the chat for me, please. Why do you wake up in the morning? Somebody said wealth. Got it. Okay, that's a reason to wake up. I got you. What else? For my sons. Thank you. What else? My dog wakes me up. Okay. To help others. For my family, my daughter, my baby cries, right? My own calling, my boy, to live, to start a new day, right? Have something to do with, right? Have something to do. My wife, living, health. Here's some others. To walk out God's plan, absolutely. My children, help others and self, to be of service, to create and be blissful, helping others get the income they want. God gave us consciousness. So these are all the answers of why people wake up in the morning. Do you hear that? Now, here's the thing about all of these answers, all of these replies. They're all different in their own way. They're all unique. So that means your why is unique too, and this is the reason why it is the nucleus of who you are. You have to understand what that nucleus is. Because once you have that, you want to be able to use that nucleus to give you the momentum and the push that you need to do your work effectively. Now imagine if you're doing your work thinking about your sons. Let's think about that. Imagine if you're doing your work talking on the phone with somebody and you're thinking about how am I fulfilling God's plan. That was somebody's answer, right? So imagine that. If you used your nucleus as the reminder and the fuel that you need to get through your calls. Imagine if you use that as you're speaking to each individual person. And as you're speaking to them, you're thinking, man, this is really for my sons. This is for my wife. And if you've noticed, all of these responses, I would say a good 90+% of them, the nucleus was something outside of themselves, which is powerful. And that's one thing we all got in common. So evidently we understand something here as a community. We understand it's about the bigger picture. We understand it's about what we're going to leave for our young ones. It's about what the difference we're going to make while we're here with our chance to live this life. We get that. And if you're brand new and you haven't had that yet, to find out what your nucleus is, you have to think about that. Why do I wake up in the morning? Why is it that I go and I get up? What makes me want to get out the bed? And if there's nothing making you get out the bed, then you have to get there first. You have to take care of that situation. So figure that out. But if you've got it, then that's great. You know your why. And you want to take that why and allow that to be the reason for why you're taking these calls and you're talking to these people. Some of you don't have patience when you're speaking to people. It's going real fast, in and out. Right? Like a machine. No. You can't build your business like a machine. You have to give it some humanity. And you're only going to see humanity if there's a heartbeat. There's only a heartbeat if you have a nucleus, which is you and your why. So you want to go into this with your nucleus propelling you. Okay? So it's a whole new reason why you're doing it. You have a passion behind it now. And that's what you need. Now, if you can't find that passion, then that's fine. You have to work on that. But making sure that you understand that, your why. Find it if you don't have it. Congratulations to everybody that does have it. Okay, the next thing that you need to focus on, of course, in order to start breaking the slump in sales, okay, is understanding who am I or who are you? You say, who am I? I want everyone to type that in the chat. Who am I? Right? Who am I? Now, when it comes to understanding who you are, it's more than just your nucleus, okay? Because now it's about your entire makeup. That's the way you walk, the way you talk, the way you process things, okay? The way you treat others, your entire makeup. And so what you need to understand is that a lot of times we don't get the results that we want because we're not being the right person. Okay? So I want you, this is how you figure out, very simple, okay, who you are. I want you to, next time that you're taking an inbound call or helping somebody out with getting started with whatever business you have, after the conversation's up, I want you to sit down in a quiet place and actually think about everything that just went on. And I want you to pretend as if you were the customer this time listening to what you just said. Okay? This is self-reflection. You can edit yourself. Yes, you can be your own coach. Okay? Everything you need is on the inside of you. I'm showing you how to use it. Here you go. There's no excuse. You can't tell me you can't do this because I guarantee you can. Got the same makeup. Okay? So the next time you talk to somebody and they give their response of I'm not interested or see you later or I'm hanging up or whatever it may be, something you don't like, just go back, take a flashback really fast and ask yourself, who was that person that was talking? What did they say? And as you reflect, I promise you, you're going to see something in the presentation that even you would say it just wasn't right. And I'm being honest because I did that today, actually. I took an inbound call from a guy, called him back, and I said something to him, and I went a little extra on telling him about how much money he could make, right? So I'm testing it because actually I was listening to him, and I thought he was, I thought his primary was money. So I went in with that, and unfortunately, I lost him. And I was like, man, how'd that happen? And so I had to go back and review everything, and I was like, yes, it was right there because when I said that one line, I heard it in his voice, and I lost him. Darn, okay, I know I'm not going to use that again. Okay? So it was very easy to find out who you are if you can see yourself, and a lot of people don't take the time out to do that because they think themselves it's already perfect, it's already good. Okay? So who am I? Very important. You can be your own self-critique, your own self-coach. Okay? You know what sells and what doesn't sell. You know what makes you feel comfortable, what doesn't make you feel comfortable. So if that makes sense, please type I in the chat. Okay? If that makes sense, please type I in the chat. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Now the next part to this is knowing the truth. The evident truth that if I don't tell you this, you're going to feel as if, man, he really left me out on this one. If I had known this, if gospel had just told me what it was, what the truth was, I probably would have had even better results. So I'm going to give this to you because this is the honest to God truth when it comes to getting out of the slump, getting that commission's breath off. That's what we call it, commission's breath. Ew, right? We're bigger than our bills. Letting you know up front. You're much bigger than your bills. You're bigger than any situation that you're going through right now. You are. And in this, here's the truth. First thing, you already have what we call natural forces. And these natural forces are very, very even. You sow what you reap. Have you heard of that? Type I in the chat. You sow what you reap. Right? Have you heard that? Type I. What goes up must come down. Type in I. Have you heard that? Right? So here are the natural forces. When you're trying to make money, stuff's going to mess up. when you're taking your inbound calls, somebody's going to disturb you. When you're trying to pay your bills and do the right thing, somebody else is going to knock on your door with another bill. This is the truth. That these natural forces always are working. And you know what it does? It keeps you humble. Because too much power for one person can drive a man insane. And that's just the way it is. So with these natural forces, in the mix of everything, don't be shocked if depression comes your way. Don't be shocked if fear comes your way. Don't be shocked if an extra bill comes your way. Don't be shocked if somebody ends up in the hospital. Don't be shocked at all of this stuff that are going to occur as you're fighting and you're going towards the mission that you're on. Because it's going to happen. It's a part of the process. So remember that. Natural forces are always going to be there. Yes, you're not going to be able to get in touch with your sponsor. Darn. Yes, you went to the training site and you're confused. Oh, my God. It's going to happen like that because you're going in a direction, and the natural forces have to come back the opposite way. It's equal. It's even. As hard as you push, it pushes back. And the ones who win and get the victory are the ones that persevere through the entire storm. But with the natural forces, because of the storm, you have appreciation and you're humbled by the success, which then opens you up for new information to get more. If you learned something with that, please type I. Just want to make sure, because that was a big one. I'm going to leave that right there. We'll put a fingertip on that one and talk about that later. But natural forces, you've got to get it, okay? Your script, this is the truth. Your script is never going to be the same. If you have your script from day one and you haven't done any edits or you haven't added your own spin to it, then this is the reason why the results aren't where they should be. Because everybody's script is going to be custom to them. Kind of like everybody's nucleus is unique for each other. So it's the same thing with the scripts. You have the base script, but you want to build upon it, okay, and make it unique and make it for yourself, okay? You have to do a little bit of research and find out, well, what terminology works for me, right? Or like I said earlier, being your own self-critique, understanding who you are. Okay? When you find out who you are and you keep seeing that person, you're always going to be refining that person because that person has to be somebody special to get the money that you need. It's not going to just be some person that has no education, they're slow, they're lazy, they're procrastinating, they're depressed. It's not happening. The person that's cheerful and that's thrifty and that's brave and that's clean, that's making it happen, that person's going to collect the check. So it's important to get your script and make sure that it is yours. If you're Thor, the script is your hammer. Is everyone getting this? Please type I. If you're Thor, the script is your hammer. Okay? And that hammer fits just your hand. No one else can pick up that hammer but you. So I need you to work on the script like a craftsman will work on his art. I need you to get there. Because your script is going to be unique for you. Okay? All right. Next is your presentation. This is the truth. So you already know natural forces is already going to be working back and forth. So you may as well get ready for the thunder. You okay? Good. But you got your hammer, right? Your script. You got it. Because your script is what's going to get you paid. Yeah, the words that come out of your mouth. Very simple. But with that, there's one thing that if you don't have it, you're not going to hit the numbers at maximum capacity. And that is your ability to present. You must be a good presenter. Presentation is everything. People buy quality. So if you answer the phone and there's noise around, run into a closet or into the bathroom and make it quiet so you can give that attention to your people. Keep it professional. When they call your voicemails, you should hear, hello, you have reached Affluentry Network. Unfortunately, we're not available at the moment, but if you leave a name, number, and a message, an agent will be back with you shortly. Thank you. Goodbye. Click. Your voicemails must be professional. No ringback tones. Take that off. Your presentation. So you must, with your presentation, work on your out or your external presentation. What are you wearing at home? I understand you're working from home, but it's okay to go ahead and dress up a little bit to get your morale going. Okay? So you can see yourself in a light that's, wow, this is professional. This is what I'm doing. Okay? Your presentation, how you're talking to people, how you're presenting yourself. This is all important. The emails that you send them, are the margins correct? Or does it look sloppy? I saw somebody send me an email the other day, one of the new people coming in, and I mean, the spaces were outrageous, and it was like 3 different fonts, and I'm like, look, this ain't going to work. It's not, because I wouldn't read that email. And that's what I'm talking about, knowing who you are. You take a step outside of yourself and look at that email, you think to yourself, too, this ain't going to work. You know that dog's not going to hunt. So get your emails together. And if you present quality, you're going to get quality. If you present that you're worth millions and you've got it, and how do you do that? How do you present that? It's all a feeling, and it's just little things that you add to yourself. Very simple stuff. You don't have to be rolling around in the Lamborghini in order to feel great. You don't have to. And if you disagree with me, then you need to do some, again, nucleus stuff and look around for that. But you can make yourself feel like $1 million. If you know what I'm talking about, if you've ever woken up in the morning feeling like $1 billion, type I in the chat. If you've ever woken up in the morning and felt like $1 billion, like you're like, wow, I feel alive. Like my life just seems flawless. If you ever had that moment, type I. And that's the feeling that you want to go into with your presentation as you're going to speaking to your people over the phone. Now, anybody that puts this much effort, okay, which I do, but this much effort into work, do you think there's going to be a result? Do you think? 100% yes. So, again, I said I had 15 minutes. Look at that. Boom, baby. 15 minutes. There you go. 15 minutes. And I was about to be a whole extra hour. Gotcha. So, again, breaking through commissions breath, very easy stuff. Understand your why. Find your nucleus. Right? Understand who you are. It's okay to be your own coach. Okay? And remember the truth. The natural forces are going to be with you and against you as you live. Okay? So when stuff just acts crazy and you just like, what in the world? What else can happen? Right? Just appreciate it. Because if there's fast motion and fast things happening on the bad scale, what we call bad, that means that there's a lot of good stuff happening. Because it has to be equal. Right? So those forces will always be there. Get used to it. But that's what makes you a gladiator, like they say on Scandal, right? A gladiator. Your script. You know the script is your hammer, Thor. Okay? It is one of the most important pieces to your craft. Make sure to get it better and work on your presentation. Okay? Now we've got Ashton Sanders here. You guys have that. He's going to show you how to apply this thing, and then we're getting out of here. And you know Ashton don't talk nearly as long as I do. So this is going to be really easy, really simple. Have your pen and paper handy. I love you in spirit. Here's Ashton.
All right, guys. Yes, he is definitely correct. All right, we're going to make sure this is really concise so you guys get the right information. Now, just to go along with what he was saying, it is exactly that way. When you're trying to move forward, you're going to run into that opposition, and so you have to always decide how you handle it. Now, when you're trying to build, this opportunity, okay, there's some things that you want to really take down and apply. He talked about the why and kind of understanding who you are and why you're doing this, and that's a very important piece that you definitely want to make sure you're aware of. But when you really want to take yourself to that next level of success, you have to start understanding that when you want to be on that highest level of success, you're going to have to be a lot more clear on not just who you are or what you're doing, but also understanding your product and service. And what I want you guys to do as far as a tangible thing to execute is make sure you take the time this week to, again, go through the training site. Make sure you understand the advertising networks. Take this whole entire week to just learn the system. I don't care if you've been doing it for 2 years. I want to make sure you understand it. The reason why is because you have to be, as even Gospel said, a master at your craft. You have to know your business inside and out. The reason why we've had such good success, the reason why we have 30,000 people is because we know everything inside and out. There's not many people that will come into this space that will know or have done more things than we have. So that's where that comes from. So it comes from deciding to make that decision and going into it and really making the daily decisions to keep going and keep fighting. And the hardest part of being successful is to keep fighting another day, because you're going to keep going back and forth between you wanting to be successful and you dying to yourself. And that's where the real fight is. You're dying daily to yourself and living again. You're fighting between life and death. And so what happens is if you're fighting between life and death and you do this on a daily basis, you're going to constantly be almost like in a state of war, a state of, I can say, work. You're going back and forth. Your emotions are everywhere. You're going and trying to make this happen. And you have to find a way within that to actually dig deep, find out and understand who you are and get clear on it, and allow yourself to relax and be comfortable and trust in the work that you're putting in, the direction that you're going, and what you're going to do. That's all it comes down to. And so many times we see people who come into our team and they don't have a strong sense of identity. They don't know who they are, and they find out that they're going to struggle because it's not the business that's really ruining them. This is just another product like any other product that you can find online or find somewhere else. If you aren't the right person, it doesn't matter what the product is. You won't be able to promote it. You can't make money, and you're going to find yourself in the same situation. So you have to constantly dig deep and understand what you're doing here. Now, when it comes to closing, when you understand who you are, that means you have completely get what you're doing and why you're doing it. You can then exemplify that out to people when you're on the phone. You'll be a lot more confident, especially when you understand the product and service as well and how the system works. Those are the 4 things: understanding you, understanding why, understanding the product, and understanding the system. When you get those 4 things in place, the business gets a lot easier because you're actually going to be comfortable with talking. Those things people miss every single day of the week, and they find themselves struggling. You can't really miss any of them. They're all important. Every part of them, every one of those makes like a body of work, a body of success. And that's what we want to make sure you guys understand today. And so as you work and you go through this week, take the time to master your craft. You have got to get better at it. The reason why you're not making the money you want to make is because you haven't mastered it yet. Now, I know that sometimes when you're on the come up and you're trying to build, it does take some time. I don't want you to get fooled and think that, you're not doing anything. Sometimes it just takes a little bit more. And this success algorithm, it is exactly that. It's an algorithm. You have to figure out the code. And sometimes you try it this way, it doesn't work. You try it another way, it doesn't work, but you have to keep trying. You just do. And you have to be comfortable and committed to doing whatever it takes to make it to that level of success. And what I mean by committed is not just committed to the moment or committed to your feelings at the time. This is you've made a decision to do exactly what you planned on doing, and you're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. You're going to do whatever it takes to make that happen. Can anybody follow me? Put an I in the chat if you're still here, if you can follow along. Make sure you guys are with me. And so this is what happens. If you're not committed and you're not making that clear-cut decision, that what happens is you're not going to be consistent. Your income's going to fluctuate drastically. You're not going to know what you're doing. Or you'll go back to work like many other people do. So go back to their regular 9 to 5 and try to figure it out that way. And then what happens a lot of times is they get stuck and they get stagnant because they get paid weekly. And what happens when you get paid weekly or biweekly with your job, a lot of times people don't ever move out of that because they can keep making money the easy way. But if you want to be a successful business person, it's not going to be easy. This is not made for people who want it to be easy. It's not simple and it's not easy. It's not. It does require you to give more from yourself because it's giving you back more. Because you don't just learn. Let me just break this down to you. You're not just going to get successful just by just learning, how to make money. No, you're going to learn how to lead people, how to be patient, how to handle different situations, how to handle stress, how to handle, your relationships with people, men, women, whoever, wherever you're going with it. You're able to build all those different things because you're taking the time to execute on a daily basis. So when it comes down to mastering your craft, you're understanding our business, but understanding how your role in your place of life comes together with the business model so that you're able to really be the most successful. And so sometimes if you don't make that decision, you're going to find yourself behind and you're going to see yourself losing on a daily basis. And this is why people keep running and down, going through this circle every single day of not being successful, and they're unhappy about it. They don't have to be, but they haven't made the right decisions. And so for me personally, when I was coming into doing this, I was coming in and I didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew I needed to make money, and this was pretty much my last shot. I had tried opportunities before. It didn't work, and I came into this one, and thank God it did. As Gospel said, I made $880 the first 3 days, $1,400 the second week right after that. So after that point, I was done working. And, the funny thing, this whole entire time, all I actually ever wanted was to work from home and not work a job. That's it. That was my whole goal from day one. That's all I wanted to do. Millionaire was great. I would like, that's something I want to do as well. But when it came down to just the bare, true Ashton, it was I did not want to be a slave to another company. I didn't want to be living paycheck to paycheck and having someone dictate my life. I would question things and say, well, there has to be more information. I remember being in school and I would think, how is it that a grade can determine my value or my education or how important I am? I couldn't stand that concept. And I said, look, I have to find some other way. There has to be another ranking system. This is when I was in high school. And that's how I felt. I never believed that college or school was the definitive answer on if you became successful. And so many of you don't know this, so this is relatively something that I guess people would know if you've been here for a while. So I actually when I first went to college, I actually had a full scholarship to college. And I got in and did pretty well in high school, at least towards the end of high school. I had my fair share in the beginning of high school, but I got better as time went on. But when I got into college, I had a full scholarship to school, and I thought I was going to do really well with that. I told my whole family, the church, everybody knew about it, okay? And then after that, I actually started majoring in business, ended up switching it over to sports management because I love watching basketball and the whole sports world. So I'm definitely, heavily into that. But as time went on, I really went to finding more information about sports management and how that whole entire university and school worked. I wanted to find out exactly how it worked and how I could get as much information about it. And so as I went into it, I started doing a little bit better with the schooling, but it was a struggle because I was actually working as well. I actually did the job
this is way before Subway. I worked at this place called Teleperformance. It's in Grindstone, Pennsylvania. Okay, if anyone's ever heard of Grindstone, Pennsylvania, put an I in the chat. I can almost guarantee you that no one has. I didn't think so. It was a really random location. But however, when I'm there, I was working at this place, and we were doing technical support for Apple. And as I was doing that job, I was trying to get better. I still did not like, what I was doing, but it was just a customer service job, so it wasn't something that, I couldn't stand. So I just went into it, and worked the system. But while I was doing that job actually ended up taking up a lot of my time. And it took up pretty much 40 hours of my week, plus I'm in school full time, and I was doing sports management. Now, for anyone who's ever done anything in relation to sports management, it's not like all the other majors. It sounds fun and easy, but what actually happens is you're doing the papers and all that other good stuff and having the tests and essays and all that whole world, just like all the other college students. But with my particular school, they required you to work at different games. And so they had me working at, different Steeler games, which sounds good, but again, I'm in the freezing cold in the back, not able to watch any part of the football game. So I'm just in there freezing, doing these different jobs that they require me to do for school, and whatever that may be. And doing all those different jobs, plus my regular job and school, it overwhelmed me. And one day, January of 2009, I went to log into my school account and realized that I couldn't get in. I didn't understand what happened. And so I called the school. They actually told me that I had lost my scholarship. And once I lost my scholarship, that also meant that I could not afford to pay for my apartment because my school paid for my apartment. So I actually ended up getting kicked out of school, lost my scholarship, lost my apartment, and obviously I had to leave my job because I was trying to deal with school and try to get that organized. So with all of that happening, that really put me in the bottom emotionally. I couldn't even call my mom to explain it to her, to tell her, that I lost scholarship, because she fought so hard for me to get in, and be able to be successful in school. My mom put everything into me being able to be successful, with the college system. And to tell her that I didn't make it, that I failed, or it just didn't work out, I couldn't do it. But actually the school called her and told her, and it was one of the worst convos I've had. She was upset. It was just strictly emotional. Nothing positive came out of that conversation besides motivation. That's the only thing that came out of it. And once I lost all of that, I had to start over, from scratch. And during that time, I had to really dig deep and figure out who I was going to be. Was I going to be someone that just gave up? I was going through the depression feeling and all that. And I had to figure, do I want to give up? Do I want to let it all go? Or do I want to actually take the steps to be successful? Will I be able to get out of this? And I'll never forget one of my friends, his name is C.J. Coleman. If you guys will add me on Facebook, you'll see he's one of my friends. Now, he does some different stuff on Facebook, so I'm not going to condone all of what he does on a personal level. So don't think that that's the case. However, the one thing that he definitely told me, and he's a great friend, but he told me something really important. He said, if you've lost everything, you have to come back stronger than ever. And that one statement was basically I was at my last point at that time. And when he told me that, I don't know what it was, but it sparked just enough energy for me not to give up. Just enough energy for me not to just say, forget it. I'm not trying to do anything business. I'm just going to go get out of college, go to work at a grocery store, and do what everyone else is doing in my family. That's where that's where my mentality was. And so when he told me that, it gave me that extra spark, enough to live another day. I couldn't afford anything. I was basically looked at as a failure at my college. My church looked down on me. Everyone gave me this whole different vibe. I mean, it was just bad. People completely changed. I don't think I've ever talked to you guys about this before, but it was crazy. So this is before this business ever happened. So when I got there, I had to make a decision. And, something told me to move to Florida, and that's why I ended up coming down there and obviously going to school. And you guys have heard my story about how I got started with the business. But when all that was going on,
I had to make some decisions. I had to get clear on who I was going to be. I had to understand that I can't let myself fail now. I put too much work in. I've been fighting for a long time to get to a certain level. So I'm determined to make that happen, one way or the other. There's nothing I'm going to let stop me from doing that, and I'm going to make sure we get to the desired destination. And that's how I think generally. That's what wakes me up every day, is being able to say, I'm going to do exactly what I want in life. I want to have the things that I want in life. I want to live the lifestyle I want to live in life, and that's it. I'm going to help the people that I want in life, and that's where I'm at. And so many times, even doing this business, it's like you go through days like, I don't know if I want to do this anymore. I'm being open and honest with you. Some days you go through tough times and people are flipping out and you're like, oh, my gosh, is this worth it? And then I have to look myself in the mirror and say, well, what did I say to you? I told you guys never quit, so I can't ever give up. And I won't. And I take that solely because I know that that's what got me here, is not giving up. Because I've had so many times where I could have quit. But again, when you take the time to be focused and 100% dedicated to getting to where you want to be in life, you have to die to that part, that weakness in you that says let go, to quit, to not work any longer, to say it's too hard. So when it comes down to, getting to where I want to be, I've been at this for a while. This is not my first go-around. I've been trying to build a business for the past, I'll say, since I was 16 years old, and I'm 27 now. So just to show you, I put in the time. Even though you guys may think we're young, we tried a lot of stuff in this little bit of time, and I've been working at it. But what I've gotten out of this is not giving up opened up the door for all of you guys to be able to be here. Gospel not giving up opened the door for you guys to be here. And so this week, when you go into your work and you think about what you're going to do to be successful, I want you to take that in. Understand that the level of sacrifice that's required for you to reach your success is higher than you might have ever known. But the reward for you and the people around you is the greatest experience that you can have. And I can go to sleep every day knowing that I've helped thousands of other people eat today. I'm helping thousands of other people keep their phone on, keep their kids off the street. That's what it comes down to. It's not even about money anymore. You guys aren't paying me to be on this phone. No one sent me a check today. So this is about you guys. This is about building a team. This is about growing and staying consistent. And so I'm here, and I'm going to be here every day fighting with you guys to make this work, to get to the level of success that we all want. So I want you to know that this week, when you go into trying to work this week, I want you to understand that this is life or death. That's why I'm so serious. I try not to, overwhelm you or talk as much, because I want to make sure you get the points that are important. I don't like to waste time on the phone. And so I want to make sure you get it. And this here is what you guys need. This week, next week, every week, you need that dedication. When you are willing to die to yourself so that someone else can have a chance to live, you will then find life. When you're willing to die to yourself so that someone else can live, you will then find life. That's where we are, guys. So I want you guys to take that with you this week. Let's make it happen. Let's grow. Let's build. This is Gospel Jackson, Ashton Sanders, the great Robert Travis, and the Affluentry Connection and family. We love you. We think you guys want to be here same time next week. Let's go ahead and let's execute. Let's make it happen. Let's fight. Let's live. And let's grow. Talk soon.